Well, kia ora and welcome into the Harness Half Hour, now proudly brought to you by Airpark Canterbury and HRNZ Marketing. I'm Jess Smith, and this week on the show we have live interviews from last Saturday's Addington meeting, where we chat to Ben Hope following his first group race win with Muscle Mountain, also Ray Reekie, breeder and co-owner of debut winner I'm Tough, and Linda Van Beek, part owner of the Easter Bunny Handicap Pace winner Ashley Locaz. I also speak to Cambridge trainer Mike Berger regarding his Jules ambitions with Eagle Watch, and Canterbury owner Peter Baken following AG's White Sox recent Rangiora Classic win. And as usual, Richard Wilson is with us from the Bookie's desk, but first, here are the headlines. Impressive muscle hill gelding Muscle Mountain provided junior driver Ben Hope with his first group race win when successful in the Group 3 two-year-old trotting stakes at Addington on Saturday. Trained by Greg and Nina Hope, Muscle Mountain is now undefeated in 4 career starts. The Canterbury Breeders' Stakes on that same card was won by Sam Scara, and the Easter Bunny Handicap Pace by Ashley Locaz. The North Island Country Cup Series was completed on Monday when the Nighthawk was successful in the Harbour Cup. In winning the race, the Nighthawk gained enough points to down Alta Leone on the overall points table. Well done to his connections. Ben Hope, straight after the win there with Muscle Mountain, first group race for you, congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's a huge thrill. Yeah, no, thanks very much, Jess.
Now, the couple of false starts, this guy seems to really be professional in the way he's going about things these days.
Yeah, like I was a little bit worried about the false starts, but to be fair, the horse relaxed beautifully and it didn't fire him up at all. He just, went out and did his job and he got the job done.
Do you find driving in these bigger races, Ben, is that an extra bit of pressure for you, or are you quite used to it now?
It is a little bit, but, driving this horse at home, I've sort of got a lot of confidence in him, and I sort of knew, if everything went to plan, he'd make his mark known.
Yep. And of course, Mum and Dad, big supporters of yours. You guys are really putting it together as a team now.
Yeah, no, it's super. Yeah, to get it from Mum and Dad is great, and and a big thanks to all the staff that help out too.
Okay, and of course, leading towards the Jules, that'll be the main target for him. How are you feeling as he progresses?
We're pretty happy with how he's progressing. I mean, he'll have to keep improving in that because there is a few nice 2-year-olds out there, like Johnny's one and obviously Brad's one, but he's doing everything right at the moment, so fingers crossed it keeps going in the full direction.
Well, cool, calm and collected. Ben, well done on your first group race.
Yeah, no, thanks very much.
Thanks,
cheers.
Mate. And in social media news, starting off with New Zealand, we had some milestones over the weekend that are celebrated on our Facebook page. Firstly, Scott Dixon recorded his 100th career training win when the Nighthawk won the Harbour Cup on Monday. Bronson Munro trained his first winner over the weekend, and Michael House last week brought up his 400th training win. Congratulations to all of those licence holders. Don't forget our website is changing. Next week we'll launch a new and improved Harness Racing New Zealand website that's on Wednesday, May the 1st. It will be responsive to all devices and cleaner to read, with all of the same great tools and information you already receive, plus more. Check out hrnz.co.nz for more updates on that. From Australia, Kiwi filly Belle of Montana was very impressive, winning her Victoria Oaks heat on Saturday night, albeit narrowly. She won in massive fashion, and Kualoa and Smart As Can Be won their respective heats as well. For more information on that and feature Australian racing, you can follow Adam Hamilton on Twitter or check out his articles on the HRNZ website. And from the US and Canada, Sha Tin, the great Kiwi mare, made history at Yonkers on Sunday New Zealand time when she became the first mare to win 2 finals of the Matchmaker series in her career. She headed home a Kiwi Quinella with Better Joy, finishing in second, and Sha Tin, of course, last year in the USA became the first ever pacing mare to earn over $1 million in a season, and she looks on target for another massive year in the Northern Hemisphere this year. We're in the Brecon Winners Bar here at Addington Raceway following the win of I'm Tough on debut. Now, the breeder and co-owner is Ray Reekie. Ray, this has been a long journey for you, hasn't it?
Yes, has been, but after today it was well worth the wait.
What emotions go through you when you've been involved with this bloodline for so long and to see a horse do that on debut?
Well, fantastic. I didn't really expect it because he hasn't had that many runs back, and thought he'll improve with the run. And I've had a lot to do with the Dunn stable, and it'd been going well, but didn't expect too much, but it was a great surprise, and what a thrill to do what he did.
I tell you what, at the 300 there was a lot of noise coming from that stand. Can you tell us about the group of people that are involved with you?
Yes, most of them are from the coast, so they're a good bunch of fellas, and the family's here as well, so it's a great experience for us all, and one we won't forget.
Oh, fantastic. And I understand you've been involved, you've bred the dam as well?
I bred the Grand Dam. I brought a Show No Mercy from the sales at Sprayton Lodge a dozen years ago, and sent her to Christian Cullen and got a horse called Cullen's Mercy. And she won 5 races for us and went a track record at Winton in 153.7. And that was a big, big thrill. And this is her first foal from Better's Delight. And to do what she's done, it's fantastic.
Right, you've been involved in harness racing in many facets before, owner, breeder, amateur driver. What kind of feeling goes through you when you're involved in breeding a horse to win?
Oh, well, no words for it. It was just unbelievable, especially first start. You know, you don't expect it to happen, and, upwards and onwards from here.
Yeah, and what goals do you have going forward then?
Well, I expect nothing out of the game, so I don't have any goals. If you expect nothing, you won't be disappointed.
And Ray, having a look at the moment, you've done yourself a bit of a mischief. Can you tell us exactly what happened?
Well, I've been a tree surgeon for probably over 30 years, and I've gone up some very high trees in my day. And a month ago I fell out of a 3-metre tree, broke 11 ribs and me collarbone, and some great medicine today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the horse is called I'm Tough.
Well, you have to be tough in this game.
Congratulations.
Yep, thank you very much.
At Airpark Canterbury, they've got no fancy gimmicks, just the best deal on airport car parking every day. In fact, bring Airpark any comparative offer and they'll match or beat it. Forget the gimmicks, get the best price guaranteed. Call 0800 Airpark for the cheapest 24/7 airport parking in Christchurch.
There's always a park for me at Airpark Canterbury.
Once again, we are in the Breckens Winners Bar following the Hydroflow Easter Bunny Handicap Pace at Addington, and it's been a well-deserved win for Ashley Locaz, Linda Van Beek, part owner of this horse. What kind of emotions are going through you at the moment?
Pretty exciting, yeah, it's good. We travelled up from Lake Tekapo today, so yeah.
And this horse, we were just discussing before, so consistent. It's been a while since he's picked up a win, but he really deserved that today, didn't he?
He did, yes. He always tries hard, yeah.
Were you expecting much leading into today's race?
Not really, no, not really. It's just take it as it comes. We came up to Rangiora last Sunday, and perhaps we might have thought, that was his day, but no, and but he got it today.
Yeah, and really special too, you've got a big group of family here with you.
Yes, well, Judy and Peter, Judy's father bred the horse, and that's their daughter is here with her husband and daughter, and then the grandsons from their other daughter. Yeah.
And how would you describe this ownership journey, Lynda, to someone who hasn't been involved in ownership before?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. And we do know a lot of people in the trotting, so it's been great for us to connect with them. Yeah. And I don't know if many people realise, but the Locaz is Judy and Peter's grandchildren. So it's Luke, Oliver, Charlotte, Adam and Zach.
And they're all here too.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That must be the good luck charm today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, 5 grandchildren, and that's where the Locaz names come from.
Wonderful. And with this horse, obviously, you've had some major highlights like the Jewels and
the
big
Jewels
wins.
Was very exciting. Yeah. That was very unexpected. Yeah.
Do you pinch yourself about that, Lynda? Do you go back and watch your race?
Yeah. No, all the time. Yeah, and we are on the end of the box seat. It's got a photo of Judy and I, so yeah, see it every week.
Yeah, you can relive that moment every week.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Oh, congratulations, and it's just so nice to see such, happy people in this winners bar.
It is, it's a great sport.
Well, of course, Harness Jewels Day, believe it or not, is not that far away, and now is the time when many people are looking at the points table or the earnings table to see whether their horses are making the grade, and one horse that is definitely in the field at the moment is Eagle Watch for Mike Berger. And Mike, I understand that the Jules is definitely a main target with this horse.
Yeah, we're definitely, now that we're figuring in the final field so far, that's what we're aiming for. Hopefully we can make it. We'll just see how we go from now on in.
And the horse is by He's Watching, and of course one of the new season sires. How have you found him to work with, Mike?
Oh, great, yeah, he's still a colt. He's a lovely little colt. Great to do anything with, really. He's got plenty of character, but his nature's really good gated. Yeah, I've got no complaints about him at all.
Oh, fantastic. And to take a horse to the harness, Jules, and be there on Jules Day, what kind of feelings would go through you being able to get to a race day like the Jules with him?
Oh, it's more like it's great for the owners. Like it's sort of a big day in the sun for them, and just to get one to race at that level is an achievement, let alone dreaming of winning one. But I think more for the owners, and that's a good feeling for a trainer to be able to get them there for the owners.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd imagine, the logistics of having to take a horse to Addington and work that all out, and you get all the owners down there. It is a massive task.
Yeah, it is. I think like with these guys and the circumstances, they've had horses with me for many years. There was a wee horse out of this family, probably about 2004, I think it was, won the Tail of the Mile, and since then there's been some nice handy horses, but not one that can race at that level again. So for them, it's the cost factor is not even going to come into it for them. It's just the fact that they can have their day in the sun, I guess,
Yeah, oh, exactly. And I see recently too, you won the Stable Shout Award, Mike, because, your owners find you're very great to communicate with, you keep them in the loop, and obviously do a great job at looking after your owners. So I guess that loyalty is really important, and it goes both ways.
It does, yeah. Like it's in particular with this horse here, when I first started out training, probably about 45 years ago, I was private trading for Graham Mackey, and then after a few months I went out on my own. And Salman Talo, who shares in the ownership of this horse, he was probably, apart from Graham, the very first outside client that I ever trained for. So 45 years later, I'm still trading for him, and I'm still trading one that's came out of the original filly that he first bought 45 years ago. Yeah. Not out of her, but directly, but you know what I mean, out of that family.
Yeah. So that adds another really special factor, as you say, to being at Jules Day and having a horse in such a big meeting. But I guess it does go to show, as you say, it's not about the money. Quite often that human touch and that relationship with a horse's family, or just being involved, is the main thing for a lot of owners.
Oh, it is, for sure, yeah. And look, with Selwyn, the first one he got was a little mare called Blue Twirl, and she won 4 or 5, and he's just bred from her and daughters of her all that time, pretty much, 40 odd years. And here it comes around, we got V4, he won a Group 1, and then this guy, he's competitive at that top 2-year-old level at this stage anyway, but... Yeah, so to bred them out of the same family for so long, it's a bit of a buzz, I guess, yeah.
Oh, definitely, and to still have, that involvement after 45 years, that is extremely special. And in terms of your training career, obviously a Harness Jules win would be amazing, Mike, but what would you say have been some of the biggest highlights for you personally as a trainer?
Well, it has to be like when I was training in partnership with Warren Rich Cornelling the New Zealand Cup back in 2002. But I got a good, because over the years we've had mostly fillies and mares, but I got quite a huge buzz when we were racing like Hot Shoe Shuffle and Coburg, and they raced at the top through the top levels, and they won a South Series and Group 1, and that was pretty special.
Yeah, and I'd imagine seeing those mares go on to produce and leave horses, it creates another element to their journey, and you'd follow it from a different perspective then too.
Yeah, it is. It's quite good to be able to look and see what they've left and how they're going on. Hotchu Shuffle in particular has done a terrific job at stud, and now the big daughters are her starting to breed from. So it's quite good to be able to follow them when you've had some association with them.
Yeah, exactly. And going forward, would you say that there's a race left that you'd love to win as a trainer, Mike?
Unfortunately, I just can't quite get there. We've had I think this little fella around third, the Young Guns final, I'd love to win that because I had a good association with Ken and his late brother Peter in the early days of breaking the first filly they bought at the sales for them, and I did quite a bit of work for them, breaking in pre-training, and I'd always wanted to be able to win that one in Peter's memory, but it hasn't to be, but you never know.
Well, no, the way you're going with the young stock, I'm sure, there's plenty of opportunities, and, given the calibre of stallions and the speed and the early speed we're seeing with these horses, it's getting easier and easier to get them going. They seem to, come early. If they're going to go, they're going to come early, but they're going to be very, very quick. Unfortunately, at 2-year-olds, not too many of them will do it, but you just be lucky enough. Yeah. Oh, well, congratulations on this season. You've had 10 winners so far, Mike, and to get Eagle Watch into the Jewels would be a remarkable feat, not only for yourself, but as you say, for the owners, a very special day. So we're looking forward to seeing you here for IRT Harness Jewels this year.
Yeah, fingers crossed we'll be there.
Airpark Canterbury is Christchurch's only 24/7 privately owned off-site airport car parking. If you feel strongly about supporting privately owned business, support Airpark Canterbury. It's only a short drive to the airport in the Airpark Canterbury free shuttle. So if you want the cheapest parking option around, try Airpark Canterbury. Call 0800 Airpark or online at airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
There's always a park for me at Airpark Canterbury.
Well, my next guest on the Harness Half Hour, you may not know him by name, but if you see him, you'll certainly recognise him. One of the best dressed men in harness racing, Peter Baken. And Peter, firstly, we've got to congratulate you on the remarkable win by AG's White Sox in the Rangiora Classic. That just must have been a huge thrill for everyone associated with that horse.
Yeah, morning, Jess. Yeah, you're right. It was a fantastic thrill, and I think the biggest thrill out of it all is all the work that Greg and Nina and the team put in it out at Wood End. He's really believed in this horse, and we had no luck around cup time, but he's really got him 110%, as he calls it. And when he says to me he's got a horse super, then I know the horse is really ready to go. So, yeah, it was just a wonderful thrill.
Yeah, you could see the emotion too, and it almost felt like a sense of relief from you and the team when he was able to pick up that deserved win.
Yeah, well, that's right. As you know, that's been well recorded, 7 seconds, and he just tries hard, and he's got very high speed. Ricky has said, he felt he was going to get him this time, but because he's on the fastest horse in the race in the last 500 metres, so and it tripped.
And what kind of emotions go through you when not only your horse is able to come off the pace so quickly, but to down a New Zealand Cup winner, that just adds another level to it?
Well, it does when you sit down and look at it 5 or 6 times when you get home. I agree. But at the time, my first thought was, bugger, I think we might be second again. And then Mac said, no, AG's by a nose. And, yeah, it was just wonderful. And, as you know, I got horses with Mark and that too. And, she was one of the first ones to give me a hug and congratulate me and give me a text. So that's what it's about.
Oh, exactly. And we will talk about your ownership journey, Peter, because as you say, you've got horses with All Stars. You've got horses, in fact, all over the show. You like to support multiple trainers.
Yeah, I do. It just sort of happened indirectly, I think. People come and see you, and I like to talk to everybody, and so I just have a share with a lot of people. So I've got 8 trainers, and it's just nice to be involved with all those people because it's such a great game. I mean, people are so friendly. You only got to see it just sometimes at the trials and stuff. Someone's forgotten a bit of gear or at the races, and they just borrow it off the bloke next door. And it's hard to put a price on that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. And when times are tough, the industry does band together. And how did you first get involved in harness racing, Peter? Has it always been a passion of yours?
Well, it has. Well, mainly through my father. You know, I'm 5 or 6 years old, going along, and I always remember the pie lady telling me off, asking people for empty bottles and get the thripping and get the Bob together and have a bet. So it's been there a long time, Jess. So yeah. And I had my first horse with Reg Curtin in 1983.
Wow. And
$2 Bromac.
yeah, and has there been? I suppose AG's White Sox obviously is a big highlight, but have there been any particular horses or maybe races that stand out in your memory?
Schulte's first. She won 2 DB Philly heats in '87. And then we sold her to Australia. She won 9 in a row in Australia because of the system. But, I mean, I only went 201 in those days, and now you've got to go 52, or as we found out in Australia, 47, so, with Chase Auckland, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, in terms of going forward too, very exciting to see that you're involved with Kendra and Midnight Dash, who are both at the moment in the Jules Fields. I guess that'll be a big target for you as an owner to one day lift that trophy.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. We did have Harriet at Mott at Cambridge, but she drew 1, which is unfortunate for her. That's not a good draw for her. But yeah, it'd be a wonderful thrill. But once I'm just looking forward to the day in general, and I'm sure Addington will do a good job of it with the help of you guys, because you actually do help them a lot on those sort of things. So yeah, just bring it on. Really, it'd be great.
And the big question, Peter, as I say, you are hands down the best dressed man in harness racing. How much thought goes into your outfits? Because I know you take a lot of pride in being able to do that.
Yeah, I do. It's just something I've always liked to be well presented. I believe you present yourself properly, you perform better, so that's one of my little goals. So yeah, I've just been to Bally's and picked up another new suit, Jess, actually. So.
All right, and do we get any hints around the harness jewels, or are you still working out that outfit?
No, I think this will be the harness jewels one, so yeah.
Okay.
So we're ready.
Well, good on you, Peter, and congratulations again, AG's White Sox. I don't think there was a person in the industry that wasn't cheering for you in the Rangiora Classic. So well done, and bring on Jules Day. Good luck with your charges there.
Thank you very much, Jess.
Well, of course, with the Easter weekend, it was mayhem for the bookies in terms of framing up all those markets and keeping track of the action. And joining me, as he does every week, is Richard Wilson. Richard, firstly, happy Easter. How did it all pan out for you and the team?
Happy Easter to you too, Jess. It wasn't too bad in the end. It was sort of an even week there at the end of the day. Couple of days off, of course, Friday and Sunday, nothing racing in New Zealand, but we had the markets open, and there was quite a good lot of interest especially on the Friday for the Saturday meetings, so that was good to see. Kicked off on Thursday at Cambridge. We also had Forbury, but at Cambridge there's a couple of plunges to kick the week off. The first was on Sir Tiger in race 3. Now he opened at 650, closed at 270. And he got close, but he not quite close enough. The best bet there, $9,000 place bet on him, $1.60 to run the top 3. That got home. $2,500 at 5, $1,000 at 3, and another $1,000 at 280 on him to win. Missed out though. $1,000 bet on Take No Prisoners in the first race at 650. That was a good one. 3,000 on Bella Veloce at 370 in race 4, and 1,000 on Bad to the Bone at 340 against Sir Tiger. They were all good bets. The other big miss on the day there, Be My Rock in the last race, very heavily back there. $1,000 bets, $3 and 280. There was $2,000 bets at both 270 and 260, and a $2,500 bet at 250. So at every price they were really chasing the money there. And he got tired late, so that was good for us. And a couple of $2,000 bets on Bakiro at $1.60 also dipped out.
Yeah, no doubt some of the syndicate members of Bakiro would have been getting on there. And Thursday night, of course, we had Forbury Park as well. And how was the mood there? A bit quiet?
Yeah, relative compared to Cambridge, it was a bit quiet there at Forbury. Best bet there, 2,000 on Sharnay at 350. That came in quite late, quite close to the start time there, so that was a good bet. A couple of nice top 3 bets there were also good. 1,400 on Better's Atom at $3.10, and a $3,000 bet Georgie Martin at $2.15. There were a few that missed though. 2,000 on Kiwi Crusher at $4, 2,000 to win on Georgie Martin at $6, And what else we got? 3,000 Majestic Mannequin at 340 and 1,000 on Jackson Jazz at 550.
Yeah, and of course, as we know, Good Friday, no racing, but we had 2 meetings on Saturday, starting off with Hawera and a few top 3 bets coming in there.
Yeah, they were doing the damage there at Hawera. $8,000 Kensington Kate at $1.95. There was 6,000 on Sampan at $1.55. 1,700 on Final Delight at $2 and another 1,000 at $2.05. So they all got home there. 1,000 to win on Let Her Hair Down at $2.90 got home as well. The ones that missed out there, 1,500 on Johnny White at $1.90, 2,000 on Kensington Kate to win at these bets at these prices, $4.80, $3.80 and $3.60. And there was 1,000 shot in the dark at $4.20 and 1,000 on Awesome Speed at $6.50. So it wasn't too bad a day there for us at Hawera.
Okay, that of course was day 1. We'll touch on day 2 very shortly, but Saturday at Addington, day harness meeting, and there was a good crowd on course too, and plenty getting involved in that market the day before, as you mentioned.
There was, yeah. It was quite good to get a bit of movement the day before, get things sort of sorted out a little bit. A few highs and lows, mainly for the punters there at Addington. The highs, there was a $2,300 bet on I'm Tough, the debutante there at $4.20, a $6,000 top 3 bet at $1.70, 4,000 Ashley Locaz at $2.30, 4,000 on Muscle Mountain at $2.20, and another 3,000 at $2. And some decent top 3 bets, 1,400 Kendra at $1.45 and 2,000 at $1.38. $1,000 on Rum in the Sun at $2.50, so they all came in. The flip side, of course, race 1, supposed to be an easy win there for Smooth Deal. There's a heap of multis on him. There was a $3,000 win bet at $1.12. $10,000 top 3 bet at $1.04, but it didn't go to script, of course, an early gallop there, and he was out of it, so that was a good start for us. And then the other main race where the action was, Jess, was the last race. It sort of turned into a real get-out stakes for the punters. Franco Niven, there was a $2,450 bet on him at 5, and then $1,500 at $4.60. And then they launched into Global Domination as well, $2,800 on at $4.50, $5,000 on at $3.90, and a $10,000 top 3 bet at $1.85. So it was all looking one the front and one the second row were going to do the damage, but I'd hate to say it, but luckily for us, Franco Niven put in a gallop about 4 strides after the start and took them both out. So it made the rest of the race quite an easy watch for us here at Petone. There was a few other big misses on the day too. $3,000 on What a Sister at 7, $1,900 Wee Man Trouble at 6, $2,000 on One Over the Stars at $5.50. There was $2,000 on Lottie Moon at $5.50, $1,000 on Valoria at 8, $5,000 on Eamon Maguire at 3, $3,000 on Pitch Perfect at $3.80, $2,000 on Pro Surfer at 6, and $2,500 at $4.60. And there's also a $550 bet on Burlington at 19.
Okay, so yeah, as you say, highs and lows galore there at Addington for that feature meeting, and on Sunday no racing, but of course we had a double header again at the second day at Hawera. A bit tougher for the punters by the looks.
Yeah, they did find it a little bit tougher. Having said that, though, there was a $1,200 bet on Better Brook at $4.80. That one got the chocolates, and that was in race 4. And there was $1,000 on Sol Invictus to run the top 3 at $2.20. But apart from that, the few big bets that there were missed out. There was $2,300 on Need Luck at $2.50, $1,500 on Sampan at $2.30, $1,000 Pure Desire at $6.50. $2,000 on Uncle Drew at $4.40, $2,000 on Johnny White at $4.50, and another $2,000 bet Kensington Kate at $3.30.
Okay, and from Hawera to the mighty Mott and the last grass track meeting of the season, which is very sad in itself.
It is a little bit, Jess. Yeah, I like the grass track racing, big fields and things, and they tend to be the ones where you get a good crowd to, perhaps more so than some of the all-weather night meetings, but we'll have to wait till next season for the next one. But yeah, there was a few more big bets here than at Hawera. There was a $7,300 bet on Give Me What I Need at $2.80, That was a good one, and quite close to that 9,300 on Lone Star Lad at 220. They were vying for the best return of the day. Official Don, very heavily backed in race 5, and he sort of squeaked home for the punters there. $2,000 on at 5, $1,000 at 440, 3,000 at 420, and then a $1,500 bet at 390 just to top me off. So punters got a lot of money off Official Don. Other good returns there came from a $3,000 bet on Lone Star Lad at 220 and $1,000 on Give Me What I Need at 260. So those 3 horses there, they were the main ones for punters. A couple of big movers on the day. Thankfully, they missed out. Change is good. Opened at 13, backed right into 450, and it was nabbed late. And in the last, leading the way, opened at 51, was backed right into 12. Plenty of decent bets just below the $1,000 bet mark on him. Just about every price in between those 2 prices. Fortunately for us, he missed out. And other misses there, $4,000 on Aorangi at 370, $2,000 Monaro Maro at both 4 and 390, $2,000 on George's Baron at 450, and there was an $8,000 bet Olivia Cook at $6, and also $2,000 Bushman at 390.
Yeah, so it can be a real minefield, or it can be very good to punters, but we'll find out again next season, of course. And each week you find a multi for us to highlight, and someone managed to turn $150 into a nice profit.
A very nice profit, Jess, yeah, on Monday. Just a couple of orders to run in the top 3. Baker Creek at $5 and Go Davy at $5.75. So that $150 bet turned into $4,312.50.
That is crazy when you think it's only 2 horses and turning it into that much. So make sure you check out the multi-bet builder on the TAB site. And potentially you could make big money like that. And the worst and best cash out of the week, of course, that's a new option with the TAB, the cash out.
Yeah, cash out for account customers. The worst one of the week that I found there, and I was happy that it happened really, because there was $6,250 bet on Give Me What I Need at 260. There was already enough on. I lost plenty anyway, but that would have turned into $16,250. But it was cashed out just before the start for a slight loss there, $5,625. So that helped me out a little bit. And the best cash out of the week, there was a $10 3-leg multi at Forbury. Kiwi Bloke at 260 to run the top 3. Paul's Verdict 240 to run the top 3. And that was ending on the Penrith Panthers at 223 to beat the Cronulla Sharks. So that $10 could have turned into $139, but the punter very wisely cashed out there for $106, and the Panthers went on to lose to Cronulla, so a very wise decision there.
Very much so, and of course a busy week ahead. Well, it's a short week for most people who work normal jobs, whatever normal jobs mean, but pretty busy starting off with Invercargill, of course, today, Tuesday. Invercargill,
there's not too much happening there at Invercargill, though. The one decent bet that has been $2,000 on Monty Falco at 220. See, 1 start, 1 win. He lines up in the last race 8 there, holding steady at the 220. But just having a look, there's quite a few multis running through him as well, so that 220 may not last too much longer. Looking ahead there, we've got Timaru tomorrow, of course, so a bit of a strange week this week. Invercargill today, Timaru Wednesday. Auckland on Friday, looking good with the Taylor Mile and the Anzac Cup. And then Saturday, Invercargill Diamonds Day there, the final of the Southern Supremacy and Southland Oaks. Also the 2-year-old Classic there, Group 2 race. And Cambridge on Sunday. So it's all looking quite a good week.
Yeah, most certainly. And of course, just a reminder too, futures markets, you guys have been very busy getting those Jules markets out.
Yes, all the Jules markets are open. Not a lot happening really at the moment. I suppose the big question mark is in the 2-year-old Emerald with Smooth Deal putting in that gallop. That's he's lengthened out a little bit there, Jess. He's out to $1.75. So I'm not too sure what caused that or what's happening there, but very interesting to see how that shapes up over the next week.
Oh, exactly. tab.co.nz punters if you want to check out all of that information. Richard, thank you so much. I know you've got a big meeting down there to cover at Invercargill today, so we'll catch you again next week.
Yep, not a problem, Jess. Very good.
Well, coming up this week, of course, it's another short week for the working people, but racing-wise, Tuesday, Invercargill Harness takes centre stage, as Richard Wilson did allude to. Wednesday, we have the Anzac meeting Farlap Raceway at Timaru on Wednesday. No racing on Thursday, given it's Anzac Day. Friday is the big one at Alexandra Park. Saturday, of course, we've got Diamonds Day at Invercargill, and on Sunday we're racing at Cambridge, Waikato Bay of Plenty Harness at Cambridge, which features the Cambridge 2-year-old Trotter Stakes. And that's it for this week's Harness Half Hour, thanks to Airpark Canterbury and HRNZ Marketing. Don't forget the Harness Half Hour podcast is available on the HRNZ website, HRNZ Facebook page, on the Punters Lounge on tab.co.nz, via Spotify and also iTunes.